Hey everyone, I'm Chef Ralph. This is my YouTube channel, Chef Ralph's Realm, and welcome to another episode of Cooking Through, the American Cookery Boston Cooking School magazine. If you're just tuning in to this series, I picked up a whole stack of these magazines from the Boston Cooking School. They range in date, but this one that we're cooking through at the moment is 1915, so 110 years old. Now, we're not doing every recipe because there are some god-awful ones in here. I mean, if you want to see me do some of the horrible ones, just comment below. But I'm doing the ones that seem like they may have a place on the dinner table or lunch table today. So today we're going to be doing, it's called a chiffonade dressing. So, you know, the term chiffonade in culinary has a couple different things. It could mean tiny like a lace, could be a very thin chop. This, I'm not 100% sure what it has to do with chiffonade, but it's an interesting dressing nonetheless. And since it is now summer, I'm trying to do cold dishes and salads and whatnot. So let's just jump right into it. I've done a lot of the prep work already. If you need to know how to chop something or dice something or mince or blah, 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 check out a different YouTube video. We're just doing recipes here. We're not necessarily doing technique like that. So the base of this dressing, we're going to do the dry ingredients or the herbs first. So we're going to do about a teaspoon of each. We're going to start with the chives. So I'm going to do about a heaping tablespoon of chives. Then we're going to do parsley, about a heaping teaspoon of parsley. Then we've got, now this one's a subjective one, so I'm going to do about half a teaspoon of capers. If I want to add more after, by all means, add more after. And these are chopped capers, so they're going to have much more of a punch than if you just, you know, threw them in whole and let your mouth do that work. So I'm just going to go half a teaspoon on that now. And beets, chopped beets. I'm not sure why. Hopefully after we taste it, we'll figure that out. So we're going to go a heaping teaspoon cooked beets. All right, now, onion. This magazine loves grated onion. So it's not chopped, it literally says grated. So we're going to throw in a heaping teaspoon grated onion. Here's where it gets a little weird. We're going to use hard-boiled eggs now. Yeah. All right, so this is a fine chopped hard-boiled egg. Good. Throw it in. That's 4 eggs. Chopped. Yolks aside. All yolks aside. Sorry. They want you to push the yolks through a sieve. I found if you want, just put it in a bowl, take the back of a spoon and mash it. It'll do the same thing as if you were to put it through a sieve. So it didn't say how many, so I'm assuming just all 4 eggs worth, because why not? I'm seeing something happening with this, which we'll address soon. Paprika, so about a half a teaspoon of salt. And about the same half a teaspoon paprika. Perfect. Now we're going to go the liquid ingredients. It's just oil and vinegar. So we're going to go about half a cup of oil and about a quarter cup of vinegar. Vinegar is subjective. Measure with your heart. Apparently that's what they say. It says whisk. I ain't gonna whisk it. That's a problem. I'm just gonna use a fork to incorporate it. That's interesting. Okay. All right, so this is called a chiffonade dressing. They want it to go on cold steamed asparagus. You know what? I'm sorry. Let's just get a base reference base here. It's not bad. You know what? Let's let it roll. Once again, it wants me to put it on some nice heart-shaped lettuce, but we're not gonna, whatever. We'll go with the asparagus. So we'll take a nice bundle, put it in the center of the lettuce, and we will spoon on top the chiffonade dressing. All right, and before we taste this, let's get some words from our sponsor.
Today's episode of Stirring Up the Past with Chef Ralph Terrell is brought to you by Old Dutch Cleanser. Keeps everything in your pantry bright and sanitary, lightens labor and saves you time. Make your head save your hands. Keep your cleaning trust with Old Dutch Cleanser since 1905. Brought to you by the Cudahy Packing Company.
All right, folks, welcome back. Let's give it a try. I want to say that I'm hopeful. All right, so you know, let's just cut into it here. I don't really know the etiquette of this. Let's roll it a little. Mostly falls out. Again, it's kind of interesting. Sweetness from the beets, creaminess from the eggs, a little bite and bitter from the onion and chives. There's freshness. There's a lot of fresh in it. All right, so if you can get over the look, it's pretty tasty. If you can get over the look of it. I'm wondering if I run it through a blender or an immersion blender and get it emulsified. Hold on, we'll be right back. Ma, do you have a stick blender? Yes. Where is it? So it's emulsified a bit. I'm not thrilled with the texture. Didn't really do anything to the flavor. Get some of that famous lettuce. Throw some down. Get a little of that on top. You know what? I like it in its original form. I don't like that at all. Well, that's not great, but hey, This is what you do in the kitchen. You learn, you try different things. I liked it in the original form. You know what they say then? Don't mess with it if it ain't broken. I thought it was broken. It looked broken. This is probably broken. The taste is going to be fine, but it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Listen, if I added some stabilizers and went back and forth and here and there, I'm sure I could get it to work, but that's not what I'm about. So, cool. Well, I hope this was somewhat entertaining for you. As always, I'm Chef Ralph. This is my channel, Chef Ralph's Realm, and this is my new series, Cooking Through the American Cookery Boston Cooking School Magazine. This one, I would say in its original form, was a success. I touched it and it didn't do what it should have done. So, that being said, sometimes we don't mess with the way it was. I hope you enjoy my content. If you like it, like, subscribe, and follow. Leave some comments below if you'd like this series and like me to keep going through the different recipes of this magazine. As always, I'm Chef Ralph. I've said that already a few times, but have a great day.